So in the previous class, we discussed about the what is variable and what are the different types of variables. Now we have to discuss about the what is the hierarchy and what is the accessibility. Which variable will be accessed if we have the same variable in local and static. So those hierarchies we will going to discuss, right? So let me go to the project and let me show you. Right here, first suppose there is a scenario, there is a value of a, this is a class level variable, and we have variable a in the method. Okay, we have variable in the method, and I'm trying to print value of 20, sorry, value of a. Let me create an object and let me see what will happen. Create the object for this class, so don't confuse this one. Creating object we will discuss in different class. Just forget about this one. For showing what output will be printing, I am writing this. Okay, so object dot add method, and then when I run this, you can see the value of 20. Here what we have to understand, basically the hierarchy always, how the hierarchy will be, basically local first priority. If local is not present, local is not present, instant. If instant is not present, static. So this is the hierarchy. So when I say hierarchy, what will happen basically, when you write some specific statement, some line of code which you are writing, in that line of code you have to use the specific variables that you have declared inside the method. So what will happen, JVM always look for the specific variables, whether that is present in this class or not. If it is present, it will use the value of that specific variable that is present in the class. So here what I'm declaring, I have declared one more variable. Now if you see a plus b, so what will happen here is the color itself, it is changed, actually it is a blue color. What will happen here, when we execute add method, it will print output as 50. So the reason, because here value of a is present, here we have access date and we are adding b. So b was not present inside the method. We are looking for the b value outside of the method. If it is present, we are accessing. If it is not present, it is erroring out. So now you understood, if the variable present within the method, most priority would be that specific variable. When we implement, when we write any statement, so this is called one of the statement. A plus b is nothing but a statement. So when you write any of the statement, so high priority would be the variables which are present inside the methods. If that variable is not present, then it will go to the class level. Then it will go to the class level. If the variable is not present, then it will go to the class level. Now, I wanted to print a variable which is not there in the method level and not there in the class level. So that time what will happen? For example, I wanted to access nihan.s. Now what will happen? First it will see whether s value is present or not. It was not there. Here it will see s value is present or not. It was not there. Then what will happen? It will search a static variable. And if that static variable defined in a different class, we can able to access that value. If I print like this, So that will print the value of s. So here what we have to understand basically, always hierarchy will start from local to instance variable, instance to static variable. When you wanted to perform any operation or when you wanted to write any of the statement, always whatever the variables that require to execute the specific statement, so JVM will look for the specific variables within the method. If that was not present within the method, we will go outside the method and we will see if there is a variable name that was present within the class. If that class is not having that, then it will go to entire package and we will see whether there is a static variable that we can access it or not. And second thing, first very important point that we have discussed actually, that is hierarchy. And second thing, what will happen? So can we write a same variable name inside the class and inside the method? As we can write it. So here, if you see, here the variable name is small a, and here the variable name is small a. What it means, you can give the same name, within the class and within the method. You can give the same name within the class and within the method. There will be no issue. But here, one thing you have to understand here, you can see on line number, so here, if you see, here you have declared the variable a. So here it is very clean. You cannot see any of the warnings or errors and all. But my suggestion, my recommendation is you cannot, or you don't declare the same variable name outside the class and method, because JVM will not confuse. It will check the priority and it will execute. But when we wanted to use the variable in multiple places, we will get confused which value we are trying to access it and which value we are giving it. So to avoid that kind of a confusion, instead of giving a same name, you can give the different name. So Java is not telling that. I am suggesting you to don't give the same name. The reason, because we will get confused or which value we wanted to use to execute the specific statement. To avoid such kind of scenario, recommended to go with the different names for the specific values, variable names, right? Next one is, I have the variable called string as equals to not here. You're writing s here. Okay, so this class is extends Nehan. So forget about this. This we will cover in after inheritance, because you will not aware of this extends keyword and all. So it will be a bit confusing. So we will discuss this topic while discussing about the inheritance. So now if you have the string outside of the method, this can be accessible anywhere in the method. And simple logic is, you are printing or you're typing string s equals to nug and you wanted to access that variables inside this main method. Here I told you one thing. So here this is exceptional case. That's why I especially wanted to tell this. So what I told you is, whatever the variables that you have declared outside of the class can be accessible anywhere in the like class. That's what we have discussed for this class level variables. But while I'm trying to printing the value of s in line number 19, it is giving me an error and it is saying that you cannot make a static reference to non-static field. So what it means, so these are the things why I'm reading this error message. If you experienced with this error message while writing, you will understand what mistake that you have done. Okay, so cannot make a static reference to non-static field. So what it means basically, you have written a value of x. This is non-static. How you can tell this variable is non-static variable? Because this variable don't have the keyword or reserved word static. Static reserve was not there in this variable. The first reason. And second reason, main method is the static method. Static method nothing but the moment you execute it, it will loads it. JVM will read this content and it will loads it. But what is happening, you are not creating the object for this class and you are trying to access that value. So here there is only one condition: you cannot access the instance variables from the main method, because main method is the static method. So you can access this variable anywhere in the class except main method. Main method is not allowing us to access that variable because main method is static method and the variable that we have declared is non-static. Non-static variables or non-static methods cannot be accessible in the static method. When you wanted to call the static non-static methods or non-static variables, that you cannot call it from the static method. So that is what we have to understand here. So it is very important point. So if you have the static one, see for example, in this class also we have the static, and in this class also you have the static, suppose. Right, so what I am trying to do here, static int a equals to a can be accessible here because you mark that as a static. If you remove this static, a cannot be accessed. So here you have to understand this simple logic. Okay, if you remove the static, you cannot access inside the main method. If it is a static, that can be accessed, no matter on which class that static is present. Another class, what class it is, no matters. Only thing that we have to observe is static method. Main method is the static method. Static method will not allow you to call the non-static methods or non-static variables. Okay, so this is the basically hierarchy, and while declaring this set of rules that we have to follow.